So we got all the Zendikar Rising spoilers complete, and I'm going to go over blue right now. Jace Mirror Mage. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's check it. Alright, now let's take a look at blue. So we have Jace Mirror Mage is the first mythic we're going to look at. It's a legendary planeswalker with kicker where you can actually duplicate this planeswalker. Its first ability is a Scry 2, and its zero ability is draw a card and reveal it. Remove a number of loyalty counters equal to that card's converted mana cost. Jace Mirror Mage. Not bad. This is one of the earliest spoilers that we actually got for Zendikar Rising. We're going to look at here Seagate Restoration. So it's a 7-drop sorcery. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. And you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Wow. Well, that's definitely more of a commander card. So if you have 7 cards, you're going to draw 8. Wow. And you have no maximum hand size for the rest of your game. So that's going to give you a lot of card advantage. And it also can be flipped for land, so you can actually make it an island as well. Seagate Stormcaller here is another mythic. It's got a kicker, 4/1. It's a 2-mana human wizard. When Seagate Stormcaller enters the battlefield, copy the next instant or sorcery spell with a converted mana cost 2 or less. You can cast this card this turn when you cast it. If Seagate Stormcaller was kicked, copy that spell twice instead. You may choose new targets for those copies. Very, very, very powerful effect there. But if you don't kick it, it's essentially a 2/1 for 2. But with that kicker cost, you're copying your instant sorceries. That's a very powerful effect. I could see this being in standard. Hell, I can even see this being in modern. Cherix, the Raging Isle, legendary creature, Leviathan Crab. I like the artwork there. The crab is massive, and you can see it faded off in the distance. Almost mist around it. Very cool. Spells your opponents cast that target Cherix, the Raging Isle, cost 2 more to cast. For 3 mana, Cherix gets +X, -X until end of turn, where X is the number of islands you control. That is interesting. I could see this being in some Simic builds. It's 0/17. So you're getting minus, but you're kind of balancing it out. So every time you get X number of islands you control, you're going to lose some of the defense, but you're going to build up its attack. So you know what? That's a pretty strong card. I don't think it's going to see much play. I mean, it seems like a commander card. A lot of these cards, to be honest, I was going over earlier, look like they would be seen more in commander than any other format. We have Glasspool Mimic, a creature shapeshifter rogue. You may have Glasspool Mimic enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control, except it's a shapeshifter rogue in addition to its other types. It's a 0/0. And it can also flip into a land, so there's a lot of cards you're going to be able to turn into lands as well. Very cool. Master of Winds, Sphinx Wizard, flying. When Master of Winds enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards and discard a card. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery or wizard spell, you may have Master of Winds base power and toughness become 4/1 or 1/4 until end of turn. So, very. It seems like an effect you use a lot for Izzet. Like the weirds do to flip their attack and their defense. But this is a flying Sphinx, so very interesting. But when on a battlefield, you draw 2 cards and discard a card, so it lets you loot, so I can see this being very useful and effective. Nimble Trap Finder, it's another rare. It can't be blocked if you control another cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard, so this could be really good for tribal builds. Enter the battlefield under your control this turn. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, if you have a full party, creatures you control gain whatever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card until end of turn. Nice. Confounding Conundrum enchantment. When Confounding Conundrum enters the battlefield, draw a card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, or in your opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under their control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner's hand. Okay. You can get up to some shenanigans with that. Not a bad enchantment. That's rare too. Okay, Coralheim Chronicler. We have a creature, Merfolk Wizard. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, which is going to be a lot of cards in this set, draw a card, then discard a card. When Coralheim Chronicler enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a card with the kicker ability from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. Wow. Okay, so this essentially will let you scry a lot. And it's a Merfolk Wizard, so there's a tribal theme there as well. A lot of looting going on in this set so far for blue. Inscription of Insight Sorcery. It's got Kicker, 2, and 2 blue mana. So we have choose 1. If the spell is kicked, choose any number instead. Return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Target player creates a XX blue illusion. Creature token where X is the number of cards in their hand. Not too bad. Interesting. So you're getting a choice between 3. But you can kick it to play more than 1. So you can essentially, if you kick it, you need a lot of mana, but if you kicked it a lot in Commander, you'd be able to potentially play all of these abilities. Very situational. It's also going to be more of a Commander card. I don't see it being seen a lot of play in Standard. It's too much. You're looking at a lot of mana, especially if you're going to kick it more than once. So we have Maddening, Cockafee. Sorcery Kicker 4. Each opponent mills 8 cards. If this spell was kicked, instead each opponent mills half their library rounded up. Wow, so in that Commander, you can be getting a lot of cards in their library. So anyone who wants to build like any sort of mill theme in Commander, I think this is a pretty powerful card to be put into that. That's really cool. I've been kind of missing mill cards. That is definitely going to go into the collection if I get that. Thieving Skydiver, creature Merfolk Rogue, Kicker X. X can't be 0, so it has to be more than 0. Flying, when Thieving Skydiver enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, gain control of target artifact with converted mana cost X. So essentially, so you don't want to be stealing a Mox. So I get why they had to specifically say can't be at 0. Cool. If it was kicked, gain control of target artifact converted mana cost X or less. If that artifact is an equipment, attach it to Thieving Skydiver. So you can so you can attach swords to Thieving Skydiver. So I can see this being really powerful in Legacy or Commander. Probably, to be honest, Colossus Hammer. No, that's getting knocked out of Standard. It's rotating, right? Yeah, but I could still see this card being pretty powerful. Roost of Drakes, enchantment, Kicker 3. You may pay an additional 3 mana as you cast a spell. When Roost of Drakes enters the battlefield, it was kicked, create 2/2. Create a 2/2 blue drake creature token with flying. Whenever you cast a kick spell, create a 2/2 blue drake creature token with flying. So, interesting. So you play this, and then every time you do a kicker spell, you just keep creating more 2/2 blue drake creature tokens with flying. That's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. And it's a 1 mana enchantment. That is a powerful uncommon. I like it. Bean Veil. Creatures your opponents control get -2 until end of turn. Good removal. It's also a land. So the good thing about this set is you're never really going to get mana screwed, because a lot of these cards can also play as a land. Pretty cool, right? Joeri Disruption is another one that you can play as a land. Counter target spell unless the controller pays 1. So it's kind of like it's not bad. Kind of like a Spell Pierce. Concerted Defense, 1 mana instant. Counter target non-creature spell unless the controller pays 1. Plus an additional 1 for each creature in your party. So this could be obviously used in any sort of party-themed deck. I actually think that will be the cards that's going to see a lot of play. Not too bad. Merfolk Falconer, another Merfolk creature. Merfolk Wizard, flying. Whenever you cast a kick spell, scry 2. Not bad. 4/4 flying. You can scry 2 whenever you play a kick spell. So this obviously is going to be very powerful in any deck that revolves around kicker, and I could see it also being actually good for limited. I mean, where, I don't know, if you're going to be able to play, if you have access to playing limited, this could be a really good card in that. Saldani Vision is also a land. It's an instant. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them and then put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any random order. Not bad. You can also play it as a land, so useful, and there's a lot of utility there. Sure-footed Infiltrator, creature Merfolk Rogue. Tap another untapped rogue you control. Sure-footed Infiltrator can't be blocked this turn. Whenever Sure-footed Infiltrator deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Not bad. That's a good rogue creature. It can't be... Yeah, that's not too bad. Skyclave Plunder. It's got, like the artwork, there's a Merfolk in the center, and there's a wizard beside. I think that's a dragon or a drake beside on her right, I think. Well, either either way. Look at top X cards of your library, where X is 3 plus the number of creatures in your party. Put those cards into your hand and the rest in your bottom of the library in any random order. That's pretty good. So you're scrying, you're going to be able to filter through your deck. That's not too bad. I mean, definitely Commander and limited play. Almaro Wizard also can be flipped for land. We have Creature Merfolk Wizard. Whenever you cast an instant, sorcery, or wizard spell, Umara Wizard gains flying until end of turn for 3. Windrider Wizard, flying. Whenever you cast an instant, sorcery, or wizard spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. That's a 2/2 wizard for 3. Lol Mage's Domination. Nice. X and 3 islands. The spell costs 3 less to cast if you target creature. If it targets a creature whose controller has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, gain control of target creature at the converted mana cost X. Interesting. So this is kind of like control magic, or so you can just get one of your creatures. Wow, and they have to have 8 or more cards in their graveyard. That's not too bad. We have Merfolk Windrobber. It's a 1 mana island to cast this. Creature Merfolk Rogue, flying. Doesn't look like it's flying. It looks like it's jumping in that photo. But, you know, flying is jumping sometimes. Whenever Merfolk Windrobber deals combat damage to a player, that player mills a card. Could be good in a mill deck. Sacrifice Merfolk Windrobber, draw a card, activate this ability only if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Okay. So you can sack it to draw a card. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it's also flying. It's a 1/1 flyer. Even that on its own is pretty good and limited, but it's got a lot of upside to it. I like it. Very good. Ruin Crab, creature Landfall. It's 1 mana. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 3 cards. Yep, that's going in a mill deck. That is really good. I'm picking that one up. I want to get a foil copy of that. So very similar to Hedron Crab for mill decks. If you remember the old Zendikar set, this is reminiscent of that. I could see this being in modern mill decks also. I just think this is a really powerful deck. Even for Commander, you're getting all your opponents to mill 3 cards, 0/3, so it's got a bit of a butt on it as well. Really cool card. I'm actually excited for that. Chilling Trap, 1 mana instant. Target creature gets -4 until end of turn. If you control a wizard, draw a card. Okay, nice. Good wizard tribal. Tazim Roll Mage, 2 mana. Creature Merfolk Wizard, kicker 4. When Tazim Royal Mage enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Not bad. There's a lot of kickers, specifically in blue, I've been seeing here. I don't know if that's the main theme for blue, but it seems to be. Bubble Snare, 1 mana, enchantment aura, kicker 3. Enchant creature. When Bubble Snare enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Cascade Seer, 4 mana, creature Merfolk, another Merfolk. A lot of Merfolk in this set. When Cascade Seer enters the battlefield, scry X, where X is the number of creatures in your party. It's a 3/3 for 4. Not too bad. Cleric of Chill Depths, 2 mana, Merfolk Cleric, another Merfolk. Whenever a Cleric of Chill Depths blocks a creature, that creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, so it kind of like freezes them. Similar to, if you guys remember the Champions of Kamigawa, a lot of the snakes had a similar ability where if it was blocked, it would kind of freeze into place, so for like 1 turn. So next untap step, kind of similar to that, if you guys remember that, or if you guys were around during Champions of Kamigawa. Cunning Gyre's Mage, Human Wizard, kicker 3. When Cunning Gyre's Mage enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return up to 1 other target creature to its owner's hand. That's not bad. Deliberate 2. It is instant, scry 2, and draw a card. That's not bad. It's good to help you filter through your deck. Good for limited. Glacial Grasp, instant, 3. Tap target creature, its controller mills 2 cards. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Draw a card. Alright, it gets you, for 3 mana, you get to do 3 things with this card. It's also an instant. I could see this being really good and limited. Into the Royal, this is a reprint from Zendikar. Kicker 2, return target non-permanent to its owner's hand. If that spell was kicked, draw a card. Living Tempest, flash and flying. Very vanilla, 4, 3/3. Simple. Negates is coming back. I love the artwork. Wow, that looks amazing. Yeah, the artwork there is pretty stunning. Very cool. The clash of the red flames being being blocked by that nice, it looks almost like water, or just blue energy just kind of blocking it, saying, nope, you're not getting through. Your flames do not get through. Flame of Undun! Yeah, it's very, I was thinking of Gandalf. You shall not pass! And then just blast that. Takes him down off the bridge. I like that. Seafloor Stalker, 3. Creature Merfolk Rogue, another. For 4 mana, you can... Seafloor Stalker gets +1/+0 until end of turn and can't be blocked. So that's why it's a rogue. A lot of unblockable abilities. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each creature in your party. Arisen Riptide, Creature Elemental. Whenever you cast a kick spell, Arisen Riptide has base power, toughness 5/5 until end of turn. Not bad. 0/5 body. Field Research. Sorcery for 3, Kicker 3, draw 2 cards. If this spell was kicked, draw 3 cards instead. Okay, so for 3 mana, drawing 2 cards. That's pretty good. But you have to pay another 3 mana just to draw 1 extra card. It's okay. I don't know how many people are going to be actually doing that unless you have to have a lot of mana free to even consider it. Anti-Cognition, 2 mana, instant. Counter target creature or planeswalker spell unless its controller pays 2. If an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, instead counter that spell, then scry 2. Not bad. Expedition Diviner, it's a Merfolk Wizard for 3 and 1 blue. Flying, as long as you control another wizard, Expedition Diviner has, when this creature dies, draw a card. Not bad, 3/2 body and a flyer. Zulaport Duelists, Human Rogue Flash. When Zulaport Duelist enters battlefield, up to 1 target creature gets -2 until end of turn. If its controller mills 2 cards. Not bad for... I could see this going into some mill decks. It's 1 mana, 1/1. It has a nice upside with Flash. Shell Shield, it's 1 mana. It's a kicker for an extra 1, and target creature gets... +0/+3 until end of turn. If this spell was kicked, that creature gains hexproof until end of turn as well. Skyclave Squid, 2 mana defender, landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, Skyclave Squid can attack this turn as though it didn't have defender. So it gets to be a 3, so it can attack for 3 as long as you have landfall. Not bad. Well, what do you guys think of the blue for this set so far? I think there's a lot of good cards with Kicker in here. A lot of strong Merfolk theme and wizards and rogues. I'm very excited about the landfall, especially the mill that we're going to be getting in this set. So I don't know, what is your favorite ability so far for blue? Is blue your favorite color? That's been spoiled for Zendikar Rising. Please let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to read them, and I will be spoiling more colors tomorrow for your pre-release. Take care.